Hi everybody, WaxFraud here, and welcome to the 1.21 Long Play Series World Tour. This is also going to be a world download that is available to all Patreon supporters, YouTube members, and Twitch subscribers. I just wanted to show the world off real quick and give you guys a little bit of insight into what was going on in my head when I was building this world. First things first, we should let you know I actually spawned all the way back beyond this jungle forest. I ended up making my way all the way to this field, and before anything was here, it was just a vast open jungle sparse field. I eventually started working on the starter house right here, and I got a lot of these materials with the tuff and the copper down in this cave. I will show you guys the starter house, but first I might as well show you guys where we got all the materials. There is a trial chamber all the way down here. Just gonna drop real quick. There we go. And okay, we can take the vines all the way back up, but as you can see, there are plenty of torches here because we did a lot of digging. Can jump over this way. You'll see there's a lot of flattened out areas. I needed a lot of dripstone. I needed a lot of deep slate. I needed a lot of tuff. We were lucky enough to run into a big trial chamber right here, and as you can see, I kind of destroyed this thing. I took a lot of tuff and a lot of copper. And this thing is so big, I could have built 5 more towns. We took all the materials that we found in the trial chamber, and we eventually just went all the way back up and started the village. Now, all of this mine shaft was not here until about episode 7, but we will get back to that. I just want to show you guys the starter house first. It looks very cozy on the right side with this giant furnace system, but actually this starter house right here was the very first build that I used copper and tuff. All these new tuff bricks look absolutely amazing. I was so excited to use these. Same with all the copper, and we made a nice cozy little living room. We even have an upstairs that leads to an outdoor balcony right onto the other side that leads to a guest house. I didn't really put anything inside of the guest house, but I thought it would be cool to build it. And again, all of this is available in the world download for everybody to enjoy. But next I want to go over and show you the barn that we had built. We needed somewhere that would house all of the sheep and all of the cows. So I went ahead and built them a barn. Now all of them have a nice cozy spot to roam around. This one was fun too. I got to use a lot more of the jungle wood that we ended up chopping down and a lot more of the tuff and copper, as you can see with all of the other builds. Next, we can go down the path over here and run all the way around this farm. This is actually what we did next. We have a giant hay and potato and carrot farm. You never know when you're going to run out of hay, you never know when you're going to run out of potatoes, and you never know when you're going to run out of carrots. I also thought it was very cool. We had enough melons and pumpkins that we found on our journey that we were able to place them pretty much everywhere. Next, we actually went over here to the corner where I found a peculiar little area, and we actually dug all the way down, and we have an archaeology dig site. This thing is amazing. I had so much fun. Actually, I have fun every single time we find one of these. I left it half exposed so that people in the world download can enjoy exposing the other half. Actually, I didn't even realize I left 2 of the suspicious gravel right on top. I like this nice open concept of the archaeology dig site. We just left it open down here, and you guys can build onto this if you want to. The sun is down and the aurora borealis is out, but the world tour continues. We got a nice little fireplace over here. Actually, what I'm going to do is crawl over around the side to our Fisherman workshop. This thing was very fun to build. I'm actually going to close this door right here. It's a kind of a plain build right now on the inside. I should have done a little bit more of the interior decoration, but I didn't really do it the justice that it deserved. The outside, on the other hand, I did spend a lot more time with these details. We have a lot of stuff giving it a lot of color, and if we hop along the river over here... What's up, squid? How you doing? Is this a squid? What's going on? Just ink sacks all over the place. The squid are just beaching themselves, but this Fisherman workshop was actually one of the favorite builds that I had in this world. I just think it breathes a little bit more life into the world, especially since it's the only build I have across the river. Just nestled right in between the starter house cliffs and the archaeology dig site. I am curious though, which was your favorite build in this entire series? Mine actually might have been the ore crane for the mine shaft over here. I just had a lot of fun building this, so I just thought this was cool. Just gave me a chance to experiment with more of the copper. I mean, using the trapdoors around the oxidized copper, I thought that was very cool. It's a color scheme that I plan using a lot, even in the hardcore series. We have a mini crane over here, and we actually bundled up all of the redstone that we had found, and we have piles and piles of copper everywhere. This was the small area that we had dug down into at first to go to the trial chamber, but we gave it a little bit more of a spicy entrance. Now we can go down here and jump into the water this way. I didn't want to show you that at first, though, just because I wanted to save it for, you know, like halfway through the tour, just to make it more immersive. In the next episode, we went all the way across the farm and we made ourselves a storage hall finally. I remember seeing some comments in the videos like, okay, you're getting a little bit messy in the house over here. Why don't you make yourself a storage hall? So we did, and it ended up turning out pretty good. We actually went up here and used a little bit of height in the landscape. We had a bunch of parrots that episode. We got to name all these guys. If you guys end up with the world download, feel free to name all these parrots. But this actually allowed me to get everything that we had collected so far organized. It's not too much, but it is enough that we needed a bunch of double chests, and I actually left a bunch of room for the people that use this world download to go and explore and get more items. Plenty of room to explore and plenty of room to store all of the items, that is for sure. I also tried to make it so that out of each window and all of the builds, you can look out at least a couple of the other builds and get a nice view. After we built the storage hall, we took all of our newly organized items and we actually went across a small ravine and river system that it actually hid all the way over here. We have to go past the barn that we had built, take a small right. We built the pathway down here so that we can get a nice smooth entrance. We're going to go right again, and here is the bridge that we had created. Again, entirely out of copper, oxidized copper, and lanterns, everything that you can see in all of the other builds we put in this one as well. I just tried to, take my time and make it nice and cozy. As you can see, we actually added a little bit of andesite and some cobblestone down on the wall over here. We got the chains and the deep slate connecting on the bottom. And I tried with the palette that I have with all of the other builds to make a smaller build. And I wish I actually had a little bit more room to make it larger, but this is pretty much like how big the ravine was. And I didn't have much more room to work with. But it is what it is, and I feel like we made it seem all right. After making the bridge, we were actually able to extend the village a little bit further and make a sawmill, and this is a pretty interactive sawmill. We have all of the rails covering all of the oak wood over here. We have a jungle wood pile, the birch wood pile, and also some bamboo piles. We had a bunch of extra wood, so it's actually really nice to have somewhere to place it. We have a bunch of stone cutters in here cutting up the rest of the jungle wood, and the birch wood is next to be cut up. I always like building sawmills. It's nice seeing the world look like it has some function. Next, we built the Watchtower, and you can see that from pretty much anywhere in this world if you can just look straight up. This thing is so tall. We'll move in here. It's still oxidizing right here, but we will go up the stairs. 5 floors later, and we are all the way at the top. You can see that we have the Archaeology dig site, the Fisherman's workshop, and the storage hall off to the left. If you look out to the front, we have the starter house with the ore crane. We have the barn right here that overlooks the farm with all of the wheat and veggies. And if we look to the other side, you can see the bridge that leads to the sawmill and then the jungle beyond. There's a big bamboo forest over there that we never really chopped down, but you guys can feel free if you get to the world download. Now, the next build is actually this giant staircase that we worked on. I know it looks a little bit messy from far away, but up close it looks a little bit more organized with all of the copper, but now we have to go all the way down the stairs. Or we could just jump out halfway through. Oh my goodness, that was a bad idea. Now when you arrive under the cherry tree, instead of taking a right through the bridge over to the sawmill, you're going to take a left, go up the hill a little bit to eventually go up the hill a lot. Now this was actually the last thing that we had built in this world, a lot of random materials like barrels, chests, and trapdoors to kind of give it some more random feeling, like with these deco pots and flowers everywhere. But the entire way up is just an alternated copper grate and copper slab system. Just bouncing all the way to the top. You can hear sheep in and out everywhere. There's also chickens here too. I can't really see them though. I wonder if they're just down. Yep, there's some chickens. This eventually moves its way all the way to the top, and I hope you guys enjoy. Oh, there's a sheep here too, but I hope you guys enjoy the tough archways that go all the way to the top of the mountain. The goal of this build was to give everybody an experience like this right here, so you can get to the top of the mountain and you can look over the village and you can see everything. I don't know, I just thought this was the coolest place to see everything we've built in the village so far, and you can pretty much just see it all. Those of you that use the world download to expand upon this world, definitely send pictures in the Discord. I would love to see what this world looks like when you guys expand on it. But again, I will let you know this world download is available to all Patreon supporters, all Twitch subscribers, and YouTube members. Now, the link for the world download is going to be in the Discord. I'll have it set up there for you guys immediately, but you do have to have your Twitch, YouTube, or Patreon, whichever one you're supporting through, hooked up to your Discord account. Now, this is a Java world, so it is only a Java world download, so I'm really sorry to all the Bedrock players out there, but I'm pretty sure there are ways that you can convert it. Anyways, I really hope you guys enjoy this world. Thank you so much for all of the support. This was a very fun one, and I can't wait to build a new world with the Pale Garden biome. Thanks for watching, and until next time, remember to take care of yourselves and do something nice for somebody. I appreciate you all so much. Enjoy the world download. Thank you so much for being a part of the community.